everybody, it's Catherine from Jayne Catherine on Books, and guess where we are? Yes, we're in the garden, first time this year. The weather has been really strange and we've had a lot of sea mist, so it's not been nice to sit out for filming. So I thought, quick, dash out there and do a couple of videos while you can. So what have I been reading? Well, first of all, if you recall, David bought me this set of the Darling Buds of May from H.E. Bates. A lovely set, and I think it was Valentine's, so I've had them since then. I've now read them all, so I thought I'll do them all as a full wrap up together. So the first one is Darling Buds of May, A Breath of Fresh Air, Oh to Be in England, When the Green Woods Laugh, and finally a little bit of What You Fancy. Does you good, as they say. And perhaps to many of us people sort of similar age, I don't know when this was, in the 80s. They filmed it in the 80s. It's actually based after the Second World War, and the Darling Buds of May was quite a long running favourite TV adaptation of these books, and I don't remember too much about them. I don't think I watched them all, and I think first series perhaps, but it was a long time ago, so I don't remember them, apart from the fact that Sir David Jason was Pa Larkin, and we had the lovely Catherine Zeta-Jones as Mariette, the eldest daughter, and the lovely Pam Ferris as Ma, and a whole cast of characters, and it was a well-loved series. Now they are in the process of filming it again, re-filming it, rebranding it, I suppose, with different cast of characters, and the Pa Larkin role is Bradley Walsh from Doctor Who fame and loads of quiz shows, Coronation Street soaps, and I think he was a comedian originally. So I'm looking forward to that, and I thought how apt to then have a bit of a chat about the books. Never read the books before, and I suppose, see, tell we're outside. Bikes, birds, planes, you know what to expect if you've been here a while, even though it's a quiet garden. Yes, I didn't quite know what to expect with these. I expected them to be very cosy, very warming, about this lovely family. They really are a close family, and if people don't know, in the Darling Buds of May, they've got loads of children. They live in this big house, quite a lot of land, although there's a lot of junk about. Pa Larkin doesn't seem to have a job, but they live very richly, and along comes Charlie, who is a tax inspector, and he comes to investigate why there's been no taxes paid, and they say, oh well, we don't earn anything. And he falls in love with Mariette, the eldest daughter, and never leaves. Marries Mariette, and so the set of books is about the trials and tribulations of the Larkin family, and a slice of life, should we say. But there's a lot of innuendo in these books. Oh, we've even got Nelson now. Shush! Shush! Don't work with kids and dogs. A lot of innuendo. I even think that they are swingers, that they're into wife swapping. And so that shattered my illusion of this nice, cosy, lovely family. They are still a lovely family, don't get me wrong. They're very close-knit, they look after each other. These books are very funny. They do have a strange way of looking at things. They are very liberal. these parents to say it's just after the Second World War. They're very liberal with the children, and they know that, you know, there's underage sex going on, and pot larking, and more very much have a bit of a, I can't quite decide if they have full sexual intercourse with these visitors, or whether it's more a quick fumble and a fertile, you know. You know, a fumble and a fertile, and I'm not quite sure. So they're not X-rated, shall we say. They're not that graphic, but there's a lot of innuendo and there's a lot of touchy-feely stuff going on, and it keeps their marriage going. So, you know, horses for courses, and I'm glad I read them, but I should keep saying but, so I was a little bit disappointed in them, because they weren't what I was expecting from the adaptation. So it'd be very nice to see what the latest adaptation is. So shall we say my favourites were The Darling Buds of May, the first one. I gave it 4 stars. A Breath of Fresh Air, I gave it 5 stars. I loved this. I mean, back in the day, it was unusual to go abroad, go overseas for your holidays, and off they went to France, and it was good fun. They met some new characters there, and you know, there's a lot of this fumbling and frolicking in the sand dunes in Le Touquet. Now, we've been to Le Touquet many times. It's a beautiful place. They often call it Le Paris Plage, because a lot of Parisians have the second homes there. So you can just imagine them. I have this vision of, you know, this cast of characters having a fumble in the sand dunes. Now, I've been thinking about this. They don't go to Le Touquet the first time. That's in the last book. They get a chance to go to Le Touquet. I think they were down on the west coast, La Rochelle and down that way, really. But they have a chance to go to Le Touquet in the last book. Oh to Be in England is what I call a bit of a corridor book, a bit of a waste of space. And When the Greenwoods Laugh, the same. I feel that these things that happen in here could have been combined into 3 books. I think The Darling Buds of May, then A Breath of Fresh Air, and then Fancy a Little of What You Fancy Does You Good. And then things that happen, it's just everyday life. I'm having garden parties and the lavish lifestyle. They eat. I mean, if she's doing a roast dinner, you know, they have a great big leg of pork, they'll have a great big turkey, and then she'll do a gammon and a couple of pheasants on the side, and loads of roast potatoes and Yorkshire puddings, and they're a very welcoming family. Whoever turns up, oh, stop for dinner, Ma's got a turkey in the oven, and yeah, they're very welcoming, and they are, what you see is what you get. And so I think those two, the stories that happen start to become a bit repetitive. It's just the life in the day of the Larkins, which I think could have been spread out into the other books. Now, in the last book, A Little of What You Fancy, Pa's taken ill, and he's sort of put on a strict diet. He can't drink alcohol. It's a very miserable time for him, and he doesn't feel well enough to have this fumbling and frolicking with the visitors. I mean, even some of them are little old ladies that have been in the parish, and he thinks he's sparkling up their lives, as it were. Well, he probably is. These old maids, bless them, they need a bit of an uplift, don't they? So I think this last one is a little bit more serious, and it looks at you know, this lavish lifestyle where you just do as you want and you overeat and you overdrink alcohol, and it catches up with you really. And but it was a nice roundup to the series, I think. I enjoyed this one as well. So there we are. I think I don't want to say anything more about them. You just get the general gist there, because otherwise I'd be saying everything that happens in them and you wouldn't be needing to read them, would you? So go check them out. I'm glad I read them. They're well worth a read, and especially if you are in the UK and you're looking forward to the upcoming new TV adaptation of Darling Buds of May. I'm not quite sure when it's going to be released. It may be later in the year, seeing as they're filming it now. Then I think you'd enjoy reading the books to get a feel for what they're like. I'm very interested myself to see how it translates into a more modern family life nowadays. So thanks so much for joining me in the sunny garden, and I'll see you next video. Bye for now.